morning, everybody, children. Today's topic is respiration. Welcome to biology session. So, respiration. What is respiration, children? Respiration is nothing but inhalation and exhalation. So, which air we will inhale? We will inhale oxygen and we will exhale carbon dioxide, isn't it? So, today we are going to see the steps which are involved in respiration. Before that, I would like to discuss how much percent of air we are inhaling and how much percent of air we are exhaling and what are the gases. Oxygen is inhaled 21% and it is exhaled 16%, whereas carbon dioxide is inhaled 0.03% and it is exhaled 4.4%. Nitrogen is inhaled 21% and it is exhaled 21%. Same. Okay. So when you observe here, we are taking more amount of oxygen, but we are exhaling only less amount of oxygen. 21:16 ratio it is. When it is coming to carbon dioxide, 0.03 we are taking, but we are exhaling 4.4%. How it is possible? It might be possible when you are eating. It depends on the lifestyles and all. If you are eating too much of junk food or too much of any other food which is stuffed with masalas and all, so it may lead to carbon dioxide, extra carbon dioxide. Through burping also we leave, isn't it? Through anus we remove some of the carbon dioxide. In this way, the percentage where we are exhaling carbon dioxide is more than we inhale. Okay, yes. Coming to the steps and events in respiration, children, first one is breathing, gaseous exchange at lungs level. Third one is gaseous transport by blood. So we are breathing and exchanging of gases is taking place in alveoli, children. And gas is transported from alveoli to the blood. Then gaseous exchange at tissue level takes place. Then there will be a cellular respiration which is performed by mitochondria, which is known as a powerhouse of cell. So using oxygen in cell processes to produce carbon dioxide and water and releasing energy that is used for the metabolic activities, that is known as cellular respiration, children. Okay, so these are the very important steps in respiration. I mean to say the flow chart of respiration it is. Coming to an activity known as breathing, children. It is also known as Pichkari experiment. In the previous class, we did experiments to find out what was there in the air we breathe out. We had seen that in a setup with lime water, it turned into milky white fast as we breathe out into it as compared to a similar setup in which normal air was passed with the help of a syringe or Pichkari in lime water. So when we are exhaling, lime water is changing into milky white. This shows the presence of carbon dioxide, children. Whereas in other test tube, when you pass normal air, you will never see it precipitated. So because you are exhaling only carbon dioxide, then only the lime water will change into milky white. Clear, children? So we shall have a study. Next we will have the study of pathway of air, children, in our body through our respiratory system and how the mechanism of breathing in respiration takes place, to find out how the exhaled air comes out. So by respiratory system we usually mean the passage that transport air to the lungs and to the microscopic sac-like structures known as air sacs, called as alveoli basically. So where gases are exchanged between them and blood vessels. Let's go with the pathway of air. See, when you see nostrils, so how the air goes in and out. From nostrils to nasal cavity to pharynx to larynx to trachea to bronchus to bronchioles to alveoli, and from there the air mixes with blood, children. Okay, so let's go with the first part. Now we will study each and every part which is present in the pathway of air. First part, nostril. Air usually enters the body through the nostrils only. After nostrils, it goes to nasal cavity. Air is filtered here the moist surface of the lining of the nasal cavity, and the hairs growing inside the nose also, children. It helps in removing tiny particles of dirt which is present in the air. In addition, as the inhaled air passes through the nasal cavity, its temperature is brought close to that of the body temperature, children. So when the air is passing into your nasal cavity, the air is adjusting its temperature according to your body temperature, and it takes up water vapor so that it becomes more moist than before. If it is moist, then only it will collect the dirt without entering into, it will not allow dirt to enter into the respiratory tract. That is a function of nasal cavity. Coming to the next part, pharynx. So here, when you can see here, you have pharynx, children. So pharynx, a warm and moistening goes on this common passage of digestive and respiratory system. And near the pharynx you have a epiglottis, children. When you see here, see this one small tongue, it is known as a epiglottis. What is the main function of epiglottis? Is it is a flap like structure, muscular valve which controls movement of food and air towards their respective passage. It will not allow food to go to the windpipe, and it will not allow wind to come into the food pipe, esophagus. Okay, and the next part is larynx. So pharynx open into larynx, children. So here you will see the larynx. So it is a stiff box, contains our vocal cords. Okay, so when air passes out of the lungs and over the vocal cord, it causes them to vibrate. There will be a vibration. This produces sounds on the basis of our speech and song. This is about larynx. Coming to the next part, children, it is nothing but trachea. See here, you can easily see this is a nasal cavity, oral cavity. After that, pharynx, and you will have a larynx. Larynx will open into trachea. This part where you are seeing, this part is known as a trachea, children. So when you touch the throat, touch your throat, everybody, you will see this pipe near your throat. So this is nothing but trachea. Basically, it is a windpipe channeling air to the lungs. It is a source for the air to pass to lungs. Clear? So it is a tube-like structure. When you touch the throat, you can easily feel it. Next one is trachea is opening into bronchus, children. When you see here, trachea will open into bronchi. So these two is known as bronchi. These two structures are known as bronchi. Let me show. Yes. So this one is trachea, children. See, this one is trachea, isn't it? So at the lower end of the trachea or a windpipe, it divides into two bronchi. So these are the two bronchi, children. Bronchi, one leading to each lung. This bronchi will lead to lung like this. Bronchi will lead to another lung like this. So this is a trachea. This is a bronchi. This bronchi will lead to the lung, children. That's it. This is about bronchi. Coming to the bronchioles. Each bronchi is further divided into small and smaller branches known as bronchioles. So when you observe all the small parts, see, this is the internal structure of a lung. So when you observe, these are all small branches. They are nothing but bronchioles, children. So next is alveoli. So these finally terminate in cluster of air sacs called as alveoli in the lungs. So alveoli present here in the lungs in the form of clusters like this, children. So these are all the alveoli sacs, children. So these are all the alveoli sacs which are present in the lungs. Billions of alveoli are present in the lungs. Clear? They are very small and they are very numerous. Gaseous exchange takes place here as blood capillaries take up oxygen and expel carbon dioxide. The main function of the main hero of this respiratory tract is alveolus, because it is absorbing, it is taking oxygen and it is in turn sending carbon dioxide out of the nostril. In the same pathway, again in a reverse direction, it will go. From alveoli to bronchioles, bronchioles to bronchus, trachea, larynx, pharynx, nasal, nostrils. Okay, it is vice versa. After that, this alveoli, important thing is that gaseous exchange takes place. The interior of lung is divided into millions of small chambers, children, thus tremendously increasing the moist surface available for transfer of gases between air and blood. So the lining of the lung is much folded, and so their total surface is enormous. If all alveoli of a lungs are spread out, you just take all the alveoli which is present in the lungs and spread on the ground. You will see nearly 160 meters of alveoli, which is equivalent to tennis court, children. Just imagine how it is, isn't it? It will be equal to your tennis court. To tennis court, your lungs, I mean to say your alveoli, which is present in the lung. When you take out and spread, it will be equivalent to tennis court. See how wonderful. After that, the oxygen which is present is carried out by the blood from alveolus. The oxygen enters into the blood. Blood carries oxygen to each and every cell of the body and collects carbon dioxide from them. Blood will carry oxygen, everything, take and give to all the body parts. After that, it will collect carbon dioxide from all the body parts and again give to alveoli. Then alveoli will do the whole passage in a reverse direction. The whole passage from nostril to alveolus is moist and it is very warm, children. Okay, that's it. This is about the pathway of air. Coming to the assignment part, write the pathway of air. You have to write about nostrils, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchus, bronchioles, alveolus, and blood. What are the steps involved in respiration? Events and steps which we have already discussed initially. That. Write an activity of breathing. Pichkari activity, just now what we have done. Carbon dioxide, gas changes lime water into milky. That experiment. What will happen if the respiratory tract is not moist? What happens, children, if it is not moist? The air filtration might not be proper, and dirt might also enter into your respiratory tract, may lead to infection, isn't it? So, and the exchange might not be, gaseous exchange might not be so easy. So, it's very important that all the parts of respiratory tract should be moist. Next question. Are both lungs similar in size? Exactly no. Because a right lung is shorter but it is wider because it is giving shape to the liver which is present down the lung. And a left lung is very narrow, children. Why? Because it is making a room for the heart. Clear? So these reasons you have to remember. And here one point you have to notice: heart is in the left side and liver is in the right side. Next question. Why are alveoli so small and uncountable in number? Yes, they are very small and uncountable because it increases the area of exchange, gaseous exchange. So they are very small and uncountable. When they are very small and million of billions of alveoli present in the lung, it increases the capacity of exchange of gases and it would be very fast and easy. That's it. I hope you understood the class, children. Please do the assignment as soon as possible. Thank you. Meet you in the next class.